News with Gina.
The news with Gina Grad.
Well, I'm sorry to start on such a sad note, but I'm just getting some breaking news here as we record this. Famed race car driver John Andretti has died from cancer. That just came across my notifications here. John had a huge career. I'm sure you, of course, all know Rolex Sports Car Series, NASCAR. Adam, I'm sure you could tell us more than I could about his career. He was a member of one of the most famous families in racing. He was the son of racer Aldo Andretti, who's the twin brother of Mario Andretti. John was the older brother of Adam, first cousin to Michael and Jeff Andretti. And I'm really just reading this, in live time as I'm getting the alert. But
no idea how old he was?
56, and he has passed away from cancer.
Sad.
Yeah, racing is one of those family things, and it is one of those sports or whatever endeavors that you can kind of hand down because, basketball, football, it's good if you got the genes, but it's a little tough if you're a forward in the NBA to have your son be a forward in the NBA because there's only a handful of dudes that can handle that. The gig racing, if you become a racing family, the kids start karting when they're 5 years old, and then they move them up into, midgets and sprint cars and dirt tracks and ovals. And you'll never be as good as the guys that are truly gifted at it, but you can be competent
it's in
at
your blood.
it. It's in your blood, and also you're not affected by the fear of the speed or this contact or it's the speed and the location of everyone who's around you who's going the same speed. When you start that stuff at 5, by the time you're 30, you just don't. Your brain doesn't react to it that way.
Yeah, there was a hashtag Check It for Andretti, which was encouraging people to get colonoscopies. Mm-hmm. So I imagine that is the area that he was battling, and check it for Andretti. Let's not forget to do that.
I mean, talk about sitcom things that have gone the way of the dodo, the souffle humor and such. Is this a real thing? I feel like it's put upon us like sitcom-y, but is it a real thing? Guys being really squeamish about a colonoscopy, like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm ready to get checked. Like,
or getting your prostate checked.
Yeah, so you could save your life. And are you so precious about your fucking butthole that like you can't have a colonoscopy?
Yeah, there's a sound drop.
As you know,
about your butthole.
My behind was intact for 52 and a half years.
You had a good run.
Then it was destroyed by that rooter snake.
Yeah. But is that a real thing? Are there really guys who are like,
I'll tell you what I think it is.
AD Dude did your colonoscopy.
That's right.
Wow.
AD Dude.
All those years of the
Jack Steffen.
All those years roughhousing of the rain. Your behind was still intact.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I know. A lot of guys use the excuse that they fell off the seat and they landed on the seat post or whatever. We all know what the real culprit was. Yeah. But girls use the jungle gym, but we know.
Yeah, everybody knows.
But
fell off the seat post and fell back on, then fell off for about 45 minutes.
Eventually, seat post came. And the thing, so here's what I think it is. It is one of those things where they go, we recommend you do it after your 50th birthday. What they really should do is go on your 50th birthday, but that'd be the worst party ever. But the problem is there's no hard...
That wasn't your mouth.
There's no hard in or hard out. Yeah. You know what I mean? They go, after 50, we recommend. And so what happens is you turn 50 and you go, well, I don't need to do it the fucking next day after I turn 50. Right. It's just after 50, and then you go, well, you're 51 or you're 52 or you're 53, and you're like, yeah, I know, but it's a couple of years past. Like, so there's not a mandate like you must, like your driver's license, registration. Dr. Drew has to do with the boards and get recertified.
We need a public service campaign. 51 in the bum.
That's right. Put it up on the freeway signs. Click it or ticket.
Sure.
So there's a couple things.
Yeah, I feel like that.
I
like it.
There's no real time to do it that's like, you gotta, and then it does involve you being roofied and violated essentially by a team of men.
But you know that women have zero sympathy for you.
No, I know.
You've been doing this since you were teenagers.
You grow up this way. This is another problem.
You'd love a speculum, let me tell you.
We go 0 to 50 with basically no prodding at all.
Right. Is that another NSNG recipe?
Speculum.
Yeah.
Bacon wrapped speculum.
So we got that going for us.
You'll get the bends.
And it's just kind of a...
Plus, there's a little bit of not misinformation, but there's now information out there. At first, it was every 5 years like clockwork, you better get this done. Now they're like, we're not showing it's helping that much, so every 10 years is fine. So,
same thing with breast exams and things like that.
I'll tell you what I think. And obviously, Dr. Drew is a big voice for this, and he had issues, and he then was very easy for me to go, okay, Drew, just set it up in Pasadena, put a date on the calendar. If not that, I don't know if I would have initiated it. And so, kind of what I'm saying is this, for good or for bad, is going to land in the lap of the woman in the man's life. I think the wife is going to have to initiate this. The guy's going to kick this can down the road for a while. He's going to kick him in the can
to the doctor.
She is going to be the one who's going to have to go, I got a date. Make it 3 weeks plus off from when we are now, and here it is. It also involves drinking salt water, 5 gallons of salt water, not
magnesium citrate,
eating for a day, and that all the stuff. It's all the stuff everyone would rather put off.
Yeah.
And there's always something, like that's the weekend of the playoffs. Right. I don't want to ruin it by Monday. But I think the women, it's not their job. But they should be deputized to just go get that. And once you get the appointment on the calendar, then the person has to do it. Yeah.
This is the same woman who keeps you from wearing your snakeskin boots and your bolo tie out of the house. She has a lot of things to do.
Let me ask you this, all seriousness, gay couple. 2 men. I think biology takes over for both men, and both men are like, at it.
The bottom has to.
You think so?
But clearly, in this scenario, the bottom has to make the appointment.
The bottom has to make the bottom appointment.
Yeah,
fair.
Okay. I can check my laminate, but my wallet's
but I think
I'm pretty sure the bottom has
he's going to have to be reminded. I don't think it comes naturally to any man.
No, look, Dr. Drew.
So there's got to be a surrogate.
Yeah,
reminder.
How about your doctor? Telling you it's
How about the freeway signs in the bum by 51?
I don't trust my doctor.
Brian, that's not going to happen.
Hashtag.
That's right.
Stop trying to make that happen.
All right.
Well, and by the way, is Dr. Drew your primary care physician, according to you?
I think. I don't have a doctor that I'm aware of. I just tell Drew, go find that guy or go find this guy. And
it's like a classic old immigrant trade out. I don't have the money to pay you.
Rich man, poor man.
I'll tell you what, I'll get you on air.
General practitioner.
If you take over all my medical.
That's a great rich man, poor man.
I can patch your canoe if you can check my prostate.
Well, they're the same thing, aren't they?
Right. So, I tell Drew all the time, just go find a guy. They're all in Pasadena.
Yeah.
So I got the hand guys, this guy, and the colon guys, that guy, and then he has the heart guys, that guy, and they're all...
And then for your prostate, the hand guy meets the colon guy.
That's right. I had the... my hernia surgery was his guy at Huntington Memorial and everything. It's like,
Yeah, he's connected.
Look, everyone should be friends with a carpenter, a CPA, now a tech guy, and a doctor. Everyone should have one of those in their universe. But
be one of those.
Well, I always think about it philosophically about how my family has no friends and my parents have no friends, and then there's no connection. You know what I mean? Like, you don't realize, like, I'm a carpenter. I've been to Drew's house several times, and he's like walking me out. The guy's doing the tile, and he wants to hang the door. What do you think about the blah, blah, blah? I do that all the time with people. I've been to John Hamm's house and Joel McHale's house. I go to they're like, you're a carpenter.
Been to my house.
Yeah.
I've been to Brian's house. I go to people's house. I go, I'll tell you how to do this, or don't do this or do that.
It doesn't matter if it's intimate or not. They still take you outside and whisper.
Sure.
This guy's trying to hang a pocket door, and I'm not sure it's the right
One
place.
of the hardest I've ever heard my wife laugh is when I was walking down the street, and they were just doing like a remod on an old Spanish place. And I just walked in, and I was like, what's up? And they're like, we're stripping the stairs, and we got an orbital sander. I'm like, that paint's got lead in it. It's from the 20s. Get some Jasco stripper.
Right.
Put it on. It's like, put it on with a disposable brush. It'll bubble up, and then use a scraper to take it off. It's going to go airborne. You got a 2-year-old. And I started walking back out. They showed me 5 more things. I said to Lynette, people should pay me $3,000 just to walk their house.
Absolutely.
She laughed her ass off. But I meant it. I'm like, everyone should just pay me to walk to your house.
Absolutely.
But I have a skill, and I do that. And then Dr. Drew is a doctor, and I can't tell you how many times I've said to Mark Garagos, hey, man, I need some advice. How does this work, or how does that work? Like, have a little network of an attorney, a tech guy. You got to bring something to the table.
Wow.
You review movies.
I can give people into the Adam Carolla live.
Right. But
Should I see Marvel?
Actually, you'd be surprised.
I know where I can get a
watching.
$10 ticket.
Have a little field of expertise, assemble a little group of people, and then exchange. I mean, Drew talks to Garagos about legal stuff, and Garagos will talk to Drew about medical stuff, and that's a community. It's a network. It's good.
Who needs money?
That's right. We'll trade everything. Sorry, guys.
So speaking of which, the World Health Organization declared coronavirus a public health emergency of international concern. That just happened in Geneva today. ABC News says this is only the 6th time such an emergency has been declared. Of course, we had the Zika virus. We had Ebola. Those were a couple of the others. The WHO reserves the designation for, quote, extraordinary events that pose a public health risk. The first case of human-to-human coronavirus has now been reported in Illinois. The transmission occurred between a husband and wife. She was in Wuhan, China. She's in her 60s. She came home and had, whatever relations with the husband. Now he has it. This thing is spreading. Italy and America and China, and it's all over. It's also due to, cruise ships and airplanes, and it's worldwide. Like
I know we're all thinking. Mexico, we need a cure. Oh, no. That's a joke. Yeah. All I ask, I don't wear the masks. Everyone else is wearing the masks. I was saying yesterday, never better time to have herpes at an airport because, the mask hides all. But
you won't look weird.
Here's all I want everyone to do. At some point, you're going to pull that mask down. At some point, you have to.
Sure.
And I would just like to make this a new rule. When the mask comes down, you go, there's nothing more I could do, as earnestly as you can say it. And then you walk out.
It never gets any easier.
Yeah.
Spread panic.
Yeah.
Well, and I can tell you, I know you posited the other day that, these masks may or may not work. I've recently been in a quarantine situation where you walk in and out of a quarantine room and we just put on the regular old yellow mask. And the nurse is like, why are you bothering? That's not the mask. That's not the mask that's going to do anything.
Well, also, it's like when I used to work construction, they had these sort of half cup paper ones.
Right.
You can see a lot of daylight going through the side. One guy poked a hole in his so he could smoke through it. Like, I didn't feel like there's a lot of science here. It may cut down a little on the drywall dust, but if I can see a daylight coming through the side of it,
not the one.
I've not thrown a tape on germs. Airborne, weaponized germs, but I think they're smaller than that 3/8 of an inch that I can see peeking through your cheek.
That's from the 3M redevelopment department where they get the crappy stuff. The guy goes, what's this extra thick paper towel? Hang on. I can do something with this.
They were the pioneer of the Breathe Right strip because they had that little metal thing that you could crimp on your nose. Yeah.
I love those. Well, for the first time since the death of Kobe Bryant, his widow, Vanessa, made a public statement.
Hold on. I think I have kind of a rich man, poor man, either construction laborer or some sort of scientist at a research facility. Like, where's that mask at work? You know what I mean?
That's good.
Sorry.
So, we always kind of make fun of the phrase, like, so-and-so speaking out, like nobody was waiting for you to speak. But I think this is an appropriate time to say that Vanessa Bryant is speaking out after a few days after the horrible helicopter crash that took her husband, her daughter.
I had this thought yesterday. Remember we were talking about me going to the Lakers game wearing my MAGA hat?
Sitting courtside.
What if I just brought Ari Shaffir with me?
Oh, yeah.
It'd be a nice show of support, but I feel like it backfired in certain areas.
Both possibly a little radioactive socially.
All right. We'll
right
back
now.
Off. All right. I won't make that call.
Okay.
Go ahead.
In a lengthy caption accompanying a family portrait, and I think we have a picture of Vanessa, this is most of what she wrote. My girls and I want to thank the millions of people who've shown support and love during this horrific time. Thank you for all your prayers. We definitely need them. We are completely devastated. By the sudden loss of my adoring husband, Kobe, the amazing father of our children, and my beautiful, sweet Gianna, a loving, thoughtful, and wonderful daughter and amazing sister to Natalia, Bianca, and Capri. She added, we are also devastated for the families who lost their loved ones on Sunday. We share their grief intimately. And a big reason for this post, it seems, is Vanessa announced that the Mamba Sport Foundation set up the Mamba on 3 fund. It's called Mamba on 3. It's to help the other families affected by the crash. You can donate at mambaon3.org. I think it's, their family's probably okay for a while financially, but these other families may not be. So mambaon3.org is where to donate.
All right, thoughts. One is, I was thinking about it as I was watching the Sports Center on silent while I was on my rowing machine last night, and there's the outpouring in the NBA and then the NFL, and then they're going to do a halftime thing, or they're going to do something in the NFL, and they're going to do something. I thought, if anything like this ever happens to me and they're going to have this kind of wild celebration, I'd like to spread it out over a decade. Because it's everywhere.
It's a lot at once.
It's everywhere for 4 days or 6 days or the next event and then the next event. And then at some point, it's just gone.
Just peters
just gone. You're just gone. And then at some point, it'll be, hey, it's been 1 year. And then someone will go, it's been a year already? Yeah. And it's like, now it's everywhere, and then it's kind of nowhere. I'd like to put an installment plan on it. I'd like the mourners to just show up. Like, instead of taking up 700,000 square blocks, just whack it down, and but spread it out over the years. Yes.
So you want your mourning to take a decade?
That's right. I want it to keep going. Yeah. Versus, that thing where you go like, Michael Jackson's been dead for 10 years? What?
Right.
We'd know it if there was more of that.
It's going to have to be legally sanctioned. It's going to have to be some sort of biennial holiday, something like that.
Yeah, I agree.
You basically want the Shiva to be more like a Polish wedding. It goes on for a week or two. There's parties, there's events.
And here's a hypothetical question. She's taken care of for life. There is no having to go out, if this happens to the poor mom in the inner city or even the middle-class mom, now the mom has to really work and really focus because this income is gone and this is where it's gone. One of the best or most important things we have is just sort of work, distraction, focus, being pulled over there. In terms of grieving, there's a part of me that thinks it's easier to deal with the process when you have to snap into action. Like, okay, this person's gone. I still got 3 kids and rent is due. It's still due on the 30th. I got to pick up another shift. Or you're miserable. Don't get me wrong. But sitting in a huge house alone, I mean, I'm sure there's people over, but I'm saying it's just like not having anywhere to go, so to speak.
It's got to be torturous.
It's got to be, in a way, the old, like, pioneer days. It was like, shit, I got to go down to the river and I got to wash the clothes. I got to start a fire. It's like all these things I got to make salt and infuse it with shit.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like all these things I got to do. And you're upset while you're doing them, but
it does. The conscious mind has to move on to something else. That is what essentially you're saying, but in her case, she has probably structured a life in which she has a lot of responsibility for those kids anyway. Because Kobe was always on the road, 6-7 months a year. Kobe was on the road pretty much the entire time, so she probably has a life.
But it's been years. It's been
it's true. It's been
3-4 years.
Yeah,
but she also doesn't have the luxury of locking herself away in a room anyway because the kids are very young. The 3 kids.
Yeah, I got kids. You get a little group around you of multiple nannies and people that take them there and get them that. And if you want to lock yourself in your room, you can. I'm just saying the sort of sense of urgency mixed with the physicalness of like, I got to get up and go and I got to this and that, it probably helps the process.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I also read today that they had made a deal a long time ago, Kobe and Vanessa, that they would never take the same helicopter at the same time. And they said it wasn't because they were scared. It was just practical, alluding, I would imagine, to if something happened,
Right.
God forbid, they're both not in the same helicopter. So all these other little, things are being revealed.
I pitched that to Lynette, but with the house. I'm like,
how's that working out?
Just to be safe.
You never know when a fire could happen.
Weekends are yours. I'm always out of town.
Same meteor.
Yeah.
Come on now.
That's right.
I mean, this
10.0.
This
We're an
Tyvek
earthquake
isn't what it
country.
used to be.
I'm at Hilarities on Friday.
New
You can stay
Mexico,
there.
steady as she goes.
10.0, like anybody's going to survive.
Well, that's where the New Mexico part comes in.
You brought up Garrigus, and I'm still telling the
You ever
story.
experience an earthquake in your car while you're sleeping? You barely feel it.
It rocks you to
That's
sleep.
the safest place you can be. Suspension,
Sturdy.
airbags, looking out. Sorry, go
Crumple
ahead.
zones.
Yeah.
So I know we're just talking about Garrigus and the Weinstein trial, but here's what they are reporting as of what happened on Wednesday. One of the women claimed he offered her movie roles in exchange for sex. During a meeting in a New York City hotel, she told jurors Weinstein said he'd signed the contracts for the film parts if she agreed to have a threesome with him and his assistant. When she refused, Weinstein allegedly said, "This is how the industry works," and cited Charlize Theron and Salma Hayek as examples of actresses who got ahead because of what they were willing to do. The other woman who testified,
He said that to
according to the woman who testified, she said Weinstein said this is how Charlize and Salma did it. So that was part of her testimony. The other woman who testified claimed that Weinstein raped her in his apartment after luring her there to read a script. Weinstein has not been charged with assaulting these women. Prosecutors are using their testimony to show that he's a sexual predator, probably a pattern of this kind of this thing. And Weinstein is facing life in prison.
The lady who you referenced earlier with the podcast, who sounds like the star of the movie Lady Bird. Or whatever her
Janice
name is.
Goldstein.
McElhaney.
Yeah.
Saoirse Ronan?
Saoirse.
Yeah. The problem with a lot of this stuff is, and it was the same with sort of the Matt Lauer thing's kind of this way. It's like he did this thing that, raped him in the whatever, but then there's a whole bunch of like emails and texts of like, she's going to Europe. She's asking him, can he go with her to Europe? Or she wants to hook up when she gets back from Europe and all this kind of stuff, which complicates things. And I think that's what Garrigus was alluding to.
Well, is that part of the deal that they're alluding to? Like, look, I'll give it to you, but first you're doing this. And she's like, okay, I did that. Now where's the contract?
I think the problem is it's like in Matt Lauer, it's like the chick who says he raped her. There's her also going to his house, like after he dumped her and stuff like that, which sort of suggests a relationship that she was interested in as well. So I think there's some of that going on with this case as well, which, it doesn't mean the person didn't do what they alleged to have done, but it certainly complicates things. So especially when you're trying to defend the guy and you're pulling up emails about her inviting him to meet in Europe or whatever and things like that. I think there's some of that.
But that was Matt Lauer, right? That wasn't Harvey Weinstein. Nobody's chasing down Harvey Weinstein. Going, hey, wait a second.
You can look it up, Max Zapata, but there is some of that.
There is.
Yeah.
Well, and what his attorneys are referring to as loving emails from the ladies. Very loving.
Also, they're
but wouldn't
showing
that be part of the game, though? I mean, if you're supposedly trying to
throw it all at the wall,
if you've decided to make this deal with the devil and try to further your career for whatever reason, and at some point you've got to play whatever game he's playing in order to get what it is you've agreed to.
Yeah.
They've also been doing this, which is interesting too, but would be effective. They're showing all the starlets like young at the height of their powers, and then they're showing big, fat, ugly Weinstein, and they're going like, they just keep putting up pictures. So you go like, yeah, would anyone willingly like that would never fuck that? Like if you picture, like if you're smart, if you're defending. If you're on the prosecution, have as many pictures of Salma Hayek at 23 as possible, and have as many fat, drunk pictures in with the unshaven gray beard. Like going, really, you think that volitionally
in what
slept
universe?
With that?
Not sure how much a time machine would help Harvey Weinstein.
No, it doesn't. The time machine helps the girls. You get the youngest ones with that. Him, it's all bad in the prosecution. Sorry,
may even be worse to show a photo of Harvey 30 years ago.
Oh, it is. Yeah, he's bigger and more imposing and more whatever.
By the way, great B plot to this season's Curb Your Enthusiasm with Jeff, with poor Jeff.
Oh, yeah, looking like Weinstein.
Everyone's mistaking him for Weinstein.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So great.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
An estimated
Jeff Garland,
an estimated 100 million people will tune in to watch the Super Bowl Sunday, and more than 17 million of them are expected to miss work Monday. The survey, which has been conducted every year since 2005, predicts that 11.1 million will have pre-approved days off, while 4.7 million will likely party a little too hard, call out sick, and another 1.5 million just won't show up. There have been attempted.
Hey, Mike, he's talking about you fuck ass.
There have been movements to either make the day after the Super Bowl, the Monday after, a national holiday where everybody stays home and sleeps it off, or just move it to Saturday.
That makes so much sense. I understand that Sunday is a traditional football day, but there's almost as many games on Thursdays and Saturdays and Mondays as there are on Sundays.
Or, hear me out, you make it Sunday. Monday is the holiday that incorporates the Grieving for Adam Carolla.
That's a good point.
Oh, sure.
So that every year,
I like it.
because people are home now. They can go, you know what, man, my head hurts. Oh, that reminds me.
Isn't Monday already national? What the fuck do we do with the rest of the guac day? Because there's always extra guac.
Extra dip.
And you can't throw it away because it's fucking good. There's
Very
like 7 avocados gave their life, but the fucking clock is on this guac. Dude.
That's true. The clock's on the guac.
The clock is on the Put that on the freeway sign.
Right.
The clock is on the guac, and you can never nail it. No one ever wants to come up short with the guac, so you have to go big.
Gotta go too much.
But you always go too much, and everyone has like between 2.7 and 9 pounds of extra guac at the end. You can't fucking throw it away.
No.
It's also the kind of thing where it's like, well, just put it on the eggs or whatever. Like, it doesn't really work that way, and you got 24 hours. It's already getting the weird brown crust over the top.
Yeah.
But that is National What Do We Do with the Guac Day.
That's right.
And we need to come up with something.
Well, that's a good reason to go to work. Bring it to your coworkers.
But they're all bringing it in, too.
Yeah.
That's
right.
We need some sort of service like, good neighborhoods do with Christmas trees. You know what I mean? Like, they'll take care of it. You just bring the guac out to the curb. They'll handle it.
That's true. Or you could do a beauty-related thing because most of the ingredients in guac also have...
great for your collagen.
Yes, an upside in the beauty department. So maybe there's a way someone could take it, separate out the ingredients.
Yeah. I don't think you could do the guac facial at my house because I live with Phil, the 110-pound lab.
Oh, he'd love you even more.
He'd just take your head off.
Well.
That'd be his move.
I realize it's the last show before the Super Bowl. This is the last show people will hear before the game actually happens. I should mention, if you see a good hipster tweeting, "Oh, is there a game today? Is there some sort of sporting event?" Just tweet it to me with the hashtag sportsball. Only check marks. Not trying to humiliate people who are just private citizens. Blue check marks. People who are like, "Oh, is there some kind of game today? Go sports. Score the points.
Do the thing. Win."
Yeah. Hashtag sportsball. Best one gets read on the show. Best ones get read on the show on the next show, and I will make a $100 contribution to their charity of their choice.
Well, I'm going to take it a step further. Max Patty, find out anything about the testimony from the trial. It's knowable. It's out there. I heard it. Also, does it make it faster when you lean forward harder? I just watch you. It's like I do. No, I drive and I go, wait a minute, it's an important story. And I put my ear closer to the dashboard, but the speakers are in the back of the car.
Yeah, for the windows.
So there may be an effect here. I'm asking
really
your process.
Small, so it does make it faster for me to scan through all the text on the screen.
Yeah, you're already pretty low. All right, anyway.
Come on.
I'm taking your stuff one step further.
What are you doing?
I go out during the first half and I... remember the Beltway sniper?
You jog?
I put a young black child in the back of my trunk of my car. I pop the lock out, and I see anyone jogging.
Oh, yeah.
I just take them out.
Take 'em out.
I just take them out.
Wow.
I'm just
That's
cleansing
fair.
the neighborhood.
Sure.
I don't want these people around. That's all.
Sure.
You think first half of the Super Bowl is a good time to go out jogging or go to the park and fire up a barbecue
Yeah, you're
or
wrong.
wait at a bus stop?
That's on you.
You may be dead wrong. Dead wrong.
Dead wrong.
Dead wrong.
It's a horror movie. Bad horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Kansas City 2-0.
Yay!
2-0. One safety. 2 extra points or 1 safety?
Defensive struggle, 1 safety.
I love it. Well, also, we're talking about the Super Bowl. Game day is only part of the action. Only part of the things you can bet on, of course, are on the field. You can bet on Demi Lovato's version of the national anthem. We talked about this a little bit, but there's other things about Demi Lovato you can also bet on. These are other
the color of her microphone.
Oh, I don't have that one on here. Here's some others. Here's a couple other prop bets. Will she forget any of the words to the anthem? Mm-hmm. Will Demi wear a skirt or pants when she takes the field? What color will her hair be? Will any scoring drive in the game take less time than Demi takes to sing the song?
That's a good bet.
And, of course, everybody always wants to know how many seconds will she need to sing the final Brave.
To paraphrase the great Vince Lombardi, what the hell's going on out there?
No.
Ridiculous.
I do love that clip of him yelling.
He's yelling at everybody and anybody. He's just turning around from the field to his own sideline to the official.
There's great like 60s NFL archival films of the guys. There's one where a guy yells, "You're killing me, Whitey! You're killing me!" Yeah. Like that's a great line.
That is a crock.
Yeah,
one of my favorites is Hank Stram, former coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, who literally stood on the sideline. It's his team,
right?
And he's going 34 toss power trap. Call it 34 toss power trap. 34 toss power trap. 34 toss power trap. And then they run a play. He goes, see? 34 toss power trap, 13 yards.
Right. And he's giddy.
It's his team.
He's giddy about it.
Yeah.
Abe Gibram's great. Big fat.
Gibram.
He's great, too.
Former Bears messiah.
I think he ended up at Tampa Bay. I don't know. All right. Anything, Max Spanna?
I'm still reading. There's actually a lot on the internet, but right now I'm reading something about Ronan Farrow using alleges that Harvey Weinstein used Matt Lauer blackmail to pressure NBC.
Do you have anything about the testimony of the woman from like today or yesterday or whatever from the trial itself? You're looking for Matt Lauer stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm not being clear. We're talking about the women and getting trips to Europe and asking him to meet them in Europe and things that are going on in the trial, not the Matt Lauer situation.
You know, we could take a break for another bacon-wrapped poblano while you sort this out.
I do understand why things take so long. When I'm going, why is everything taking so long? Because I think you're looking for something I'm not asking for. It's whatever the trial yesterday, maybe the day before, and the victim was basically accused of sending texts or asking to meet with him or hang out or go on dates with him and things of that nature. Let's see if we can find that. All right, I'll tell you about Manscaped Lawnmower 3.0. Breaking news. This is an important pubic service announcement. See what I did there? Manscaped.com. After 18 months of R&D, Manscaped created the greatest ball hair trimmer ever. It's new and improved, Lawnmower 3.0. It is now available. It's a serious instrument. Everyone's got a ceramic blade, prevents accidents. Got the new LED light to illuminate the grooming areas. 7,000 RPM motor. I usually don't let anything above 5,000 get that close to the jewels, but with Manscaped, these guys are pros. Battery lasts up to 90 minutes. Comes with a rapid charging dock powered by USB. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code Adam at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping. Manscaped.com. Enter Adam. All right, let's do one more, Gina Grad.
All right. Well, Kumail Nanjiani got more than just respect for his very naked photo showing off his new jacked body for the Marvel's The Eternals. It also got him an unintentional free subscription to a porn site for a decade. When the actor stopped by Conan O'Brien's late-night TBS talk show to talk about getting all ripped to play Kingo in the November 2020 movie, he revealed that after Pornhub used his shirtless photo for its muscular men category of porn videos, they wanted to compensate him. Here's the clip.
So you have access to a whole new world. Like, free porn is good. But when you go to premium, I could develop fetishes, crazy ones over the next 10 years, and I know I'll be taken care of.
Right.
There's a lot.
have no idea, like, what's happening on premium porn.
Well, if I have to explain it to you,
yeah,
you wouldn't understand.
I just picture the same stuff's happening, but they're all wearing, like, really nice hats, you know?
So he gets 10 years of free porn.
Conan's hair's getting a little into a realm of cartoonish, right?
Getting?
Well, no, it's always been kind of that way, but it seems to be being.
That's his thing.
No, his hair was. If you take a look at him 10 years ago, it was sort of flopped down. It's pushed up.
The big curl cowlick in the front.
Yeah, all right, Max Badgett. You no longer have to struggle looking for the thing. I need Conan O'Brien.
Sisyphean
like, I don't
task
know, circa
over there.
2000. I want to see what his hair looked like then. Because I've been noticing, watching things, that it's like it's turning into. No, what it was is it was kind of his thing.
Yeah.
Now he's leaning into it.
Okay.
Now is what I'm saying. Like, it was just
probably thin.
It was the way it was, but he wasn't cultivating it. It was just sort of that's the way it was, and now it seems like there's some cultivation.
You know, I got to get me one of them razors that you're talking about for that.
Oh, Manscaped, yeah.
I've been using Roundup.
No. That's Nair for the hair.
It works, but I have a persistent cough.
Is Nair still around?
Yeah, very much so. Do you know what else is still around? Oh my God, this blew my mind. A friend of mine told me that she just bought one. I thought these had been discontinued decades ago. The Epilady.
Oh, right.
Do you remember the Epilady?
Yeah,
the most
but that's probably a little too much build-up. Yeah. But keep going.
No. Do you believe they still make them? You can
double
still
down,
buy
Gina,
them.
Double down.
Yeah, wait a minute.
We're talking about
Should I wait for the kids to come home from school, or should I just kick open the front door of the school?
I'm sorry. Was that not on the topic we were just talking about?
No, it was. I don't know.
That's
I
so
thought
80s.
You were going to tell me something like really important, like Taco Bell's brought back the Bell Beefer, or something
Sorry, that
really will move the
You're right.
needle. You know,
sure.
Epilady's fine, but with that kind of
a
build
little
up,
shrunk for the Epilady.
You should try yourself the Epilady.
Did it pull hair?
Literally, it's a sprung coil, like a teeny tiny slinky that vibrates and literally rips the hair with the coil off of your legs.
Sounds like the way they used to
Boy,
do
oh
it.
boy.
Hair is such a weird.
Can't get it out.
It's such a weird thing. Like most people, like most guys. It's weird how it's distributed. You know, like, okay.
Tell me about it.
What I'm saying, no, but Dr. Drew is literally hairless. If you ever look at Dr. Drew's arms or legs or anything, he doesn't have hair. There's no hair on his arms.
Amphibious.
Most guys have some hair on their back or shoulders or something. My back and shoulders are completely bare. Completely bare. I have a hairy ass. Most dudes don't have a hairy ass. Most dudes will have a hairy back and no hair on their ass. I'll have hair on my ass, nothing. Completely. Now, you would think if you just saw my ass, if there was an ass glory hole.
Sure.
Oh, I guess that's the essence of a glory hole. All right, scratch that. If I manned the business end of the ass, if I wore chaps and nothing else, if you just saw my ass,
a lot of business.
If you just saw my ass, you'd
like
go,
the scalper.
"Oh, this guy's back must have a ton of hair on it." I have no hair. No hair on my back.
Interesting.
If your back is hairless and your ass has a lot of hair, where does it stop if we're going up?
At the ass.
Gina, you ask a stupid question.
Is it literally on your ass cheeks?
Yeah.
Wow.
Why are you so obsessed with this?
Well, you know it's good for that.
Am I not making myself clear about my hairy ass?
No, that's what I'm saying.
The Epilady
I did not wonders sit on my epileptic office chair.
Is it like when they say, do you want it straight or round on the back? I mean,
it just
squared off.
Yeah.
It goes up small of the back, just kind of stops.
There's an answer to my question.
Well,
a little bit.
I don't like to agree with
Goes
Brian.
Up to the seventh vertebrae.
It just stops where the ass.
I can't believe I
where the ass and the back begin. That's basically where it stops. Yeah, but to be fair to you, it's not a carved in line. It just kind of fades. But I don't nothing in the shoulder, back. I don't have any of that. Then I have my legs are regular, but I have no hair on my ankles. It just goes down and stops. No hair on my feet. You know, it's weird. Some guy I don't have a lot of chest hair. Some guys have a lot of chest hair. Like
it's a random
some guys can't grow a beard. They can't grow a beard. Doesn't go down their neck.
I can't grow a beard, but plenty of hair on the top of my head. I'm not.
Bitch.
No, I'm not.
Bitch.
Look, I think bald guys. I think they look great. I've never looked at a bald guy and thought to myself, "What kind of a man lets his own hair fall out?"
We all look the same to you.
I've never.
Wow, you racist.
But and some women are more hairy than others, for sure. But it's
folliculist.
For the guys, it's distributed in a weird way. Some guys have the no tummy, chest, tummy hair. Other guys have tons of that.
The happy trail.
Yeah.
The happy trail.
From the belly button
Trail
down.
of tears.
Yeah.
If the Niners lose the Super Bowl, you might get to look at a weird hair pattern yourselves.
Brian's going to take himself a dunk in the
That's
pool.
Right.
Oh, really?
Sure as shit is.
Niners fan.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just teasing it up a little bit more than he used to. That's all. He's accentuating it more than he used to. He used to just let it flop down.
Right.
All right, we're looking at Conan O'Brien's head, by the way. He's
not your ass hair. I don't want anybody to be confused.
He's been called the White Don King a few times, and now he's earned it. All right, we're going to bring it home, Gina Grad.
That's right. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
She's taking her clothes off. She's fat, and she's no good.
I knew it.
That was the news.
Let's talk about you.
I used to love it here.